everyone. Today we are here in same Symrise office in Dubai, and my good friend Tarek. Hi Tarek, nice to see you here. Nice to see you.
Nice meeting you.
There is a great and a big thing which was done by Symrise for supporting people in during the pandemic situation worldwide. And this is a story I'd like you to hear from Tarek because it worth to be heard.
So at Symrise we worked on a fragrance made by all the fine fragrance perfumers in the company from the whole globe, from Brazil, from US, from Paris, from Dubai, from Shanghai, and many other offices of Symrise. And the perfumers created one fragrance. We want to give this fragrance for all the fighters of COVID-19 in the whole world, mainly where Symrise is, mainly in New York.
The places where the office of Symrise exists.
Yes, exactly. So we distributed this for the frontliners in hospitals, doctors, nurses, police people that they were looking after to make people feel safe. So we distribute this beautiful project for most of them in Dubai, in Shanghai, in Singapore, Paris, and New York, and Brazil.
This is how the perfume looks like. Okay.
So we gave...
How many perfumers were working on the project?
Around 19 or 20 perfumers worked on this beautiful fragrance, and we gave them the absolute freedom to put any raw materials, no matter the cost and the creativity.
Crafted with love. I don't know if it will be seen there, but it's like really...
So this fragrance is just to say thank you for all the frontliners that they work tirelessly to make everyone safe.
And the fragrance was for free, right?
Yes, sure. It's been sold in one website in France for, I think, limited time, and the money came from this project, went back to the frontliners also.
Okay. Okay. So what this kind of project the company launching like usually, yeah? Because I know that there are some different concepts, like remember the scent of the world, I guess. Yes, there was the
world through scent.
The world through scent, yeah. There was a different fragrances which were chosen by the perfumers from Symrise company, and they were traveling together with the photographer, and the photographer were showing the inspiration, the pictures from where the inspiration for perfumer came. And there was another one I catch there was the Cuba, and there was another one before.
We at Symrise we always do those scents expeditions, we call them, and
there was a textile one, I remember.
Yeah, we do many creation of concepts. So our FDMs and marketing department, together with the perfumers, they sit down together, they brainstorm, and every time we have at least 2-3 times a year those ideas to create new concepts.
So how does it happen when you create the new concept? It comes to the new kind of materials, new kind of bases, new kind of concept of the fragrance itself. Then you show it to the brands, yeah, and they are choosing the fragrances.
Absolutely. At Symrise we work really in a creative way. Recently we are working now on a new collection based here in Dubai, and we asked all the fine fragrance perfumers in the company to create each one of them one fragrance based on his signature. So we gave them the absolute freedom and the space to express themselves and put their signature in a bottle.
This is a usual question, yeah, when I'm talking to the perfumers, and even to anyone I'm asking which would be, if there will be the ideal fragrance you would create, what kind of fragrance would it be? So this is the kind of thing you're telling, yeah?
Yes, exactly. So, you know, the perfumer nowadays, they follow brief sometimes, but they have this passion to work on special raw materials they like the most.
Yes,
like
for me,
some of them they like ylang ylang, some of them they like patchouli, some of them they like more citrus bases. So we give them the freedom to express themselves with a beautiful raw material that they like the most, like ambrosinide or patchouli or whatever, and put it in one fragrance. And finally, we will have a beautiful collection of 19 to 20 fragrances we're gonna show in the region.
Cool. So this project is coming only to GCC region or worldwide?
Could be at the end, we could show this in other regions, but for sure, we're gonna start in Dubai, for sure.
I know there are some perfumers who moved from Dubai to Brazil. Could you please tell us how does this kind of work happening exactly? So when they are coming to the new country, are they getting the inspiration from the fragrances they smell in the streets or in anywhere in the country, or?
For sure, this is happening a lot in Symrise. Perfumers, they move from offices from Paris or from New York or from Dubai or from Brazil. And this allows the perfumer to live in the country, to live the culture, to smell what's amazing about this country, what is, he gets inspired by the street, by food, by images, by places.
How does they put this into the fragrance? Okay, the inspiration came and I want to create the fragrance. But still, like, if you don't have this kind of machine, which are, you can put the piece of thing and it's giving you the structure of the fragrance. How does it happen? Like, I mean, in which kind of base does use the base and the ingredients?
These things happens like building blocks. When you start, for example, when I came first to Dubai, I couldn't stand the smell of oud at the beginning.
Yeah.
But after time, smelling more qualities and spending more time in the city, I start loving oud and even using it now. So perfumers, they look into source of inspiration, and when they live in that country or this city, they absorb everything happening around them, from the smell they smell on the street, especially in the mall here in Dubai, or in the desert, or it could be a place, a monument, a book, a story. So it's really unlimited. And when a perfumer lives in Dubai or New York, they have, of course, they start changing the way how they're thinking about fragrances in a way.
They have the bases, they have the number of ingredients they are willing to use. They have the same one in each country, or they are different?
So this is a board question, I must say. Our perfumers, they get really a rich raw material palette in Symrise. Today, Symrise is #1 in the world in raw materials, in fragrance raw materials. So really, each perfumer has a great tool to make every day a new fragrance. We have a beautiful program in Madagascar where we get our natural raw materials like natural vanilla, red lemongrass, pink pepper, vetiver, and many more.
Is there anything which is growing and you discovering how to get the smell of it, or everything is discovered?
No, every day you can discover a new thing. Every day you can create a new fragrance. For example, I remember years ago, our perfumers went to Tasmania. They smelled the purest air on earth, and they could extract this smell into a base that we show to many companies in the world.
This is a real fairy tale.
So yeah, every day perfumers, they strive to new things, and they could translate it into a beautiful fragrance that you see in beautiful bottles with many brands.
Cool, that's really cool. And tell me a few words about Symrise. So how many offices are there in the company, like worldwide? Is it more?
Now Symrise existing in more than 86 countries worldwide.
And in each 86 countries, there is a state of perfumers who works for the company, or not necessarily?
Not necessary. Sometimes we have only offices, sometimes we have a whole subsidiary. Like here in Dubai, we have perfumers, we have lab.
We
are
manage one
fully
subsidiary
equipped.
in Ukraine.
One day,
Yeah.
one day, why not? So it depends on, we have to answer the market with the right tools, and I think Symrise nowadays has the right tools.
And what this is about the fragrances, yeah, about the perfumes. But if to go to the aroma stories, then as I understood, the aroma materials are used not only for the fragrances. It's coming for the body,
Flavors.
For the flavors, for food, for everything, right?
Yes, sure. So the history of the company started in fine fragrance mainly with vanillin, where we discovered the first synthetic ingredient in the history, which was the vanillin, used widely now in fine fragrance, also in flavors. So this story happened in Holzminden in Germany, where we discovered this beautiful raw material, and this was found in a forest. And Symrise really put a lot of effort on raw materials. That's why in the last 4 years we put 3 times more than any other competitor number of raw materials, new raw materials. So every year we launch in the market special ingredients based on biochemistry and green chemistry.
But you are giving to work with the new materials only to your state of perfumers, or you are giving this chance and opportunities to the other perfumers?
Of course, our aroma molecules department sells this to our competitors, but we have captives that we call them captives, some raw materials that we use only for our perfumers. It's exclusive for our perfumers.
Just the concept, how it was discovered, and
yes, Döhler bases serve to be the jewels in the history of fine fragrance, also found more than 200 years ago in France. Döhler base was made between a French company called Döhler and a German scientist from Holzminden, where Symrise was started. Those two companies built one of the most beautiful bases in history, and there is no master perfumer in the world, most of them I must say, knows what is Döhler base, because you can find Döhler bases in fragrances from Guerlain, from Dior, from Chanel, and many other brands.
How many bases are there in this concept? Many of them?
There's so many. Recently, in the last 10 years, we launched more than 10, but before we had so many Döhler bases that we used to sell or to give to perfumers to work on.
And for me, could you please tell our subscribers about the process? How does it happen? Like, we have our story, like my collection for Noble Royale was created also with Symrise. I thought that the guys will quit and will never ever say hi to me afterwards, because the process was really long, and the fragrances I was choosing, I was taking them to the other country, and the smell was not the same as I felt here. So we can use Noble Royale sample. At the same time, we can use like your knowledges and information regarding how the process of the branding starts, how Symrise support customers, and why Symrise is on the first place worldwide now. Because of you, I know.
Thank you. We listen to customers very well, and we work on a brief from a customer, like what you have done.
Concept, right?
At the same time, we show other fragrances that we think it fits the project. So it comes like from 2 parts. In your case was we reworked the fragrances. 3 of them you found, I think, from the first or second smelling session. The rest we rework and we showed you many things. So the process was a bit longer, but at the end you find you were able to find what you wanted, and it's launched now successfully in the market.
Thank you so much. And who is there on the stages? So you was the first person.
Yeah, the sales always, they are the first contact from the company most of the time. The brief goes to FDM, Fine Fragrance Development Manager, and this person should be creative, should choose the right fragrance, and should choose the right way to work on.
Of the customer,
understanding well the brief. Then she communicate very well, or he communicate very well with the perfumers to create this beautiful collection. So it's really behind the scene. There are many people works from lab, from logistics, from many people put their touch on the fragrance to be final when you find the right final juice.
Is there any approximate number of brands you are working with?
I cannot count them, to be honest, and we are not in position even to say all the names. Of course, Symrise nowadays works with many multinational brands in Europe or US or Brazil, everywhere in the world. We have briefs, we work on creative concept, on beautiful fine fragrances, but I don't think it's right to say the names or
because,
put the right numbers.
For the one and the hide thing for the other one. Okay, Tarek, then we was here today in Symrise office, and Tarek, what's your position? How does
Regional Sales Director for Middle East, Africa and Turkey.
Africa and Turkey. How often are you in Africa?
Yeah, I go twice a year, 3 times a year, depends.
How
but nowadays,
big difference, no?
Big difference. Now I stay most of my time in Dubai.
Yeah, you should. Everyone stays at home, and you should stay at home as well.
Thank you.
So thank you for the conversation. It was really very interesting. There will be something from Symrise for you. And thank you for being with us. Subscribe to our channel. It was Perfume Story. Bye.